We have waited all winter for this.
It's the biggest race we have all year long.
The icons of this sport have all starred on its biggest stage.
It's the great American race. Trust me.
I won the Daytona 500. I won the Daytona 500.
Pull them belts tight one last time, boys. Light the fire.
Big push coming now for Harvick. Oh, and around goes a couple cars. Priest upside down. He's barrel rolling through the grass.
You got plenty of money. Don't need that to keep racing. Is it worth the risk to keep on going?
Sure, to win.
Oh, yeah. Welcome to the Bump and Run podcast. I'm your host, Michael D. White, joined by three of my best friends, Matt the Stat Man Reilly, Eric Daytona Ron, and Robbie Shrey. Welcome to the show. Hope you guys had a great weekend. Hope you guys had yourselves an Austin type of weekends. He was the big winner down in Talladega, and you're right, Ricky, you did call that one. In fact, that's your first win of the season. Boys, I don't know if you've been paying attention to the picks that we've been given. We are on absolute fire. If you're not betting with the Bump and Run podcast, you are not making money. I'll tell you that right now.
There's been 10 races so far. We're going on to our 11th race, and we've got 5 exact picks. So, yep. I mean, we're batting 500 right now, which is Hall of Fame numbers in baseball. So, yeah, let's keep it rolling, boys.
Let's go. We'll see. I have a good...
And all of us have at least one win, too, so let's go.
We all did. I was busting Ricky's balls last week during the picks. I go, oh, he's the only one without a win, and sure as shit, he called his shot right there. Austin Cindric getting the win. His teammate, Joey Logano, crying his way home with a DQ. He came in last place. Fellas, how was your weekend, though? And how was your Easter and everything? It's been 2 weeks since we've been on. Everything go well with the fams?
Oh yeah, I hosted my first Easter dinner. That was fun. Had Kimmy's fam over, and we've been dealing with a couple of different things on my side, but getting through that. And then this Friday, I needed to blow off some steam. Or last Friday, I needed to blow off some steam, and my buddy Andy, he's always driving around on his Harley, and he goes to these cool bars. And he was telling me for the last 2 or 3 years about this place. It's on like the border of, it's really close to New York.
Yeah.
It's like 10 miles out. I thought it was close to Dove's Cabin that we go to, but it's not. And but it's called oh man, kind of forget the name, but that sucks. I had it earlier.
Had a good time.
I had it earlier. I had the name because I was going through in my head, but it'll come to me at one point. But we went to this bar, and dude, it's an old timey bar from like the 40s, 30s through like the 50s, like all the way to present day. They never changed a thing, dude. They have a pool table in there, and literally the boards around the pool table are all like scraped way down to like raw wood. Everything else is stained. The bar itself, I've never seen a bar that old, but there's a train track that runs through. And here, Dolly Parton, Elvis Presley, presidents have all stayed there because when they're on their way to New York back in the heyday, they would stop there for like lodging and like drinks and shit. Dude, the place never changed. I felt like I was in a time capsule. It was amazing. Romans. That's the name of the place, Romans.
Wasn't it Shahola, Shredder?
Yeah, Shahola.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're on your way to New York, was it off 81?
No,
different
we
directions.
Took all back roads, so it very well could be. I want to say 84. You can use 84 to get there.
Okay, that sounds like the type of place you go when you make a day out of to go check out. So that's pretty cool.
Very well worth it.
How about the rest of you guys? How you guys living?
Pretty good, low key. Yeah, it's been a while. That off week kind of threw everything off here a little bit, but just like the drivers, everyone needed it. It seems like, when you lose sense of track of time, it's a good thing because you're getting shit done and you're doing things. And, Easter weekend for me, the last couple years, I was going to Bristol. So, the last 2 years I was able to be back home for Easter, which I love Easter because my family all homemade Italian food. And it's one of my favorite holidays as far as meals go. So I was able to enjoy Easter meals and food around that and see family. So that went well. And just now it's nice outside and it's lawn care season. So that's where, most of my time is cleaning up the garage, cleaning up the yard, getting, the outside ready for the summertime.
That reminds me, Eric, do you know how to weld? I know you guys weld stuff at work, but do you know how to weld yourself?
Me, I do not know.
No, I picked up this lawnmower off the side of the road, and I want to try to get it started and going, but I want to make a DIY wood chipper. And so above the blade, I want to weld a piece of metal, and then you feed the through a hole. It hits the branch, hits the metal, and then the blade chops it up.
I will just let you know now. Let somebody that welds good do that because you don't want to be running that and having that fly off.
I know, yeah.
Whitey. Every other thing in your life, you go to Harbor Freight. Just go to Harbor Freight, buddy.
Please.
Just do not weld together
a mulching blade.
Homemade lawnmower.
Make a mulching blade, dude.
You of all people, with your luck or lack thereof,
I know.
Brother, don't do it.
So I'm probably gonna put it. I'm probably gonna scrap this lawnmower because I wasn't.
No, get a mulching blade.
I wasn't. I have big branches that have to get chopped up. But I was at Harbor Freight. They have an electric one for like $130, or like a gas one for like $500. I'm like, well, the electric one seems like it's too crummy to last a long time. And then I'm like, but I don't have enough branches to justify a big $500 one. But I'm like, picked up this lawnmower for free. If I could DIY something. So I was watching Rednecks make DIY wood chippers on YouTube yesterday, getting ideas.
Just watch the video. Don't do anything. Just have fun watching the Rednecks make the shit. You do not go near any of that.
For a living. I make mulch for a living, so I'm telling you, a lot can go wrong.
I know. You want to what? While I was at Harbor Freight, I looked at the thing for $140, and I go, you want to what? Let me just get a new set of loppers for $44, and I'm just gonna go old school and just chop them up myself and have the burrow come
to us. I know your mother listens. Peg, if you are within the sound of my voice, go over to your son's house and get that damn lawnmower off the property ASAP.
I left the lawnmower in Peg's garage.
Oh no!
Mom, put it on the side of the road. It still has the free sign on it. But we got some NASCAR news over the last couple of weeks to talk about. During the off weekend, there was an Xfinity and truck race at Rockingham. It was a major success. Looked like a sellout crowd both days. And NASCAR,
awesome too.
NASCAR is hoping to keep it as an Xfinity and truck staple. Tyler Ankrum was the truck race winner. Sammy Smith won the Xfinity race after Jesse Love was disqualified. I didn't see the Xfinity race, but the truck race I thought was absolutely amazing. Great, fuel strategy battle type deal. And did you guys catch any of the Rockingham weekend?
Yeah, the Xfinity.
Do you think
I only saw the truck. Truck was the only thing that I saw, and I agree with you, Whitey. I thought the truck race was great.
Yeah, I'm assuming we would all like to see Rockingham stay on the schedule. And you want to know what? I kind of hope Cup doesn't go there because this car doesn't deserve the racing that Rockingham put on, to be honest with you.
I agree. I think I like that they're standalone truck and Xfinity. Gives those guys an opportunity to really, they say make a name.
Yeah.
So here you go. No Cup guys are down there, to draw for just them and, all eyes on them for that show. And, they did put one on. Rockingham, it was... for me, the unique part of it seemed like both ends were completely different as far as the turns went. And it's like that long straightaway into, I think it was into one.
Yeah.
It was like you had to really get off the gas, and it was a sharp turn into one. So some people were diamonding it, trying to go high and then cut it, early in the corner and cut down. There was multiple ways that you could run that track, so I really liked it.
Rockingham has a very interesting layout. So it's kind of like Richmond, where it's like a D shape, but that front stretch is a long sweeping curve into one. And you're right, the guys tried different stuff.
They showed pictures of it from 10 years ago, and it was a shithole. I mean, that place was all over, had overgrowth and everything. They put a lot of money into that, and it's cool to see how far it came. And it's kind of like a blast from the past. Like, I love seeing the bleachers. Like, they were like, you can tell, like, they're just kind of older, and, you know, I'm sure they're structurally sound, but yeah, what a cool place, you know.
Even like the press box area, like just that big giant black building with all the windows, that is very reminiscent of like the early 80s 90s tracks, you know. Yeah,
I'm down with keeping Cup out of there too. One, Whitey, you're right, they don't deserve it. That car doesn't deserve it. But two, like, that's like, I like the standalone idea, but also like that market doesn't necessarily need a Cup race because they've got Charlotte, they've got Darlington. Like, it's kind of like not necessarily in a diagonal line, like in between Charlotte and Darlington, but like in the neighborhood. So like they've got those fan bases can travel not that far to either one of those tracks to get a Cup race. Leave that to the Cups or to the Xfinity and trucks, and let it be its own thing.
I like when tracks are just exclusive to certain series. You know, Gateway was like that. Portland right now is like that for the Xfinity series. I hope I understand the cost savings that goes into, like, you know, 3 race weekends and stuff, but I would like to see a little bit more identity in those lower series, and I think different tracks helps.
You're going to give one track to a Cup, give us Nashville.
Yeah. Give us the fairgrounds. Hopefully someday we'll get there. Let's see. Talladega post-race inspection was completed. Preece and Joey Logano disqualified. Neither teams are going to appeal, which I thought was interesting. Why not try? But I guess
Penske couldn't get out of that fast enough. They got the race win. They're like, boys, let's head out of Johnson. You know, let's get out of Dodge.
And then we're heading to Texas this weekend, and Christopher Bell is going to make his High Limit Racing debut. High Limit Racing is, of course, the sprint car racing series that Kyle Larson co-owns. So exciting to see Bell out there, and exciting that Joe Gibbs is letting his drivers go back out on the dirt, because I know for a while he wasn't allowing them. And then big news. I know we're all excited about this one. The 2026 championship race is expected to move to Homestead Miami Speedway in 2026. So what do you guys think about ditching Phoenix? I'm assuming we're all on the same page. Get the fuck out of here.
It's about time they listen to the fans, the racers.
Hopefully I'm still watching the Cup Series by then.
Yeah, it's tough. Xfinity is definitely the show of the weekend anymore. We're in a tough stretch of racing too. The last 4 races, I don't know if you saw Jeff Gluck's poll, but they were all under 51%. This was the lowest rated Talladega in, like, I don't know, 9 years or something like that, in terms of the poll. And whatchamacallit, that Xfinity race finish just absolutely amazing. Even though it finished under caution, it was just a great race.
I've got good news though. We're going. I can't even say it with a straight face. We're going to Texas this week. I went back and looked at the race.
We ate our words last time, though, Matt.
We did.
We ate our fucking words last time, so that's why I'm not upset about it. I'm actually kind of curious to see what we're gonna get out of Texas. Like,
I don't remember.
We literally ate crow last time. We talked shit on it.
I don't remember what happened last year at Texas, but I don't have a good grade for. I went back and looked at my grade since we started the show, and I don't have a good race grade for Texas. I think the best grade I have for Texas is like a C.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I think, did Chase Elliott win last year at Texas?
Yeah.
Yeah, and you want to know what? It was unmemorable because I couldn't remember if Chase Elliott won a race last year. So it might be good, though. I checked the weather, hoping it was going to be hot and slick. It's going to be 78 in Fort Worth, Texas on next Sunday. So
yeah, I gave last year a C. That might have been one of the races, though, where you guys had it.
Where we like liked it. And
or something, and I didn't, for whatever reason.
Yeah, I'm curious. I'll have to look it up. And then last piece of news real quick. NASCAR Full Speed Season 2 coming to Netflix May 7th. I was hoping that they would release this before the start of the season like they did last year. It gives you a little build-up and excitement. We'll see how they do in the ratings. And then this week we had an Xfinity race and a Cup race. Austin Hill won in Talladega in the Xfinity Series. I was just devastated that's I thought it was going to come down to Connor Zillage and Justin Allgaier battling for the win there. I really did. I thought Justin Allgaier was going to get it, and then I don't even know. Did you guys catch the Xfinity race on Saturday?
I caught the last, I think, 20 laps.
Yeah. I caught it. I was at TC Riley's for it, and
great bar.
Yeah,
I love TC Riley's.
Yeah, we were there, and man, I don't know. And then like, you can't be mad because I feel like NASCAR actually was in the position. Like, what are you going to do?
They had to throw the caution, you know. You have to.
You have to. And like, you know, I just hope that they stay consistent now, and it just consistency with this.
Apparently, if you listen to the audio, like he was complaining he hurt his back in the impact, so like they had to instantly throw that caution just to get the safety crew out there. I know it's been controversial the last couple.
Well, you know, I'm with the fans that like say, oh, you know, like like it should be. Well, it is. It's a human waving that flag. So, you know, if you think it's going to be safe when they can come around, then let it go. But it's kind of like I kind of like adopted the whole thing. I don't give a shit. It's if a caution is a caution's a caution at the end of the day. And you just need to throw it and throw it all the time. And it shouldn't. And if you follow that consistency and do it right, then you won't have the problem. Because then, as fans, you'll be like, "Oh, they're going to throw this because they always do."
It's a safety issue.
They don't.
You know?
It's like hit and miss. You know, doing what they want.
I know what you mean, because that was our complaint a lot last year. Where they were just inconsistent, like, oh, is this a safety issue or not? You know, you started seeing the phantom cautions come back to tighten up the field and make a green-white checker or whatever.
And now, speaking of that, like throwing cautions, did you see the news? Like now they like from in the All-Star race from lap like 100 to 221.
Oh, yeah,
they get to throw a caution. Like, what is that, dude? Like, I'm just so over these gimmicks. It's like a WWE. Hey, we're having the pay-per-view tonight. Is tables, ladders, chairs. Oh, but we're gonna put a cage around it now.
Yeah.
It's yo, dude, like.
Sounds like a pretty fucking cool match to me.
I mean, for a wrestling match, yeah. For a NASCAR race, I don't know if I want a television caution or whatever. What did they call it? It was there was a term for it.
Promoter's
caution.
Promoter's choice caution. It's like, oh, things are getting strung out. Let's throw a caution out there. I did see Dale Jr. had a good idea that it should be like a fan vote deal. Where, like, if things start getting boring, you could go on and vote, and if it gets enough votes, like, at that moment, that's when the caution comes out.
Only the fans in attendance. Only the fans in attendance there.
You know, like what Kyle Busch said. Kyle Busch said, you get a drunk fucking fan, you make him drink until he passes out. When he passes out, that's when you throw the caution.
They would definitely pick me at Pocono, dude. Can you imagine, Whitey? Tell me they wouldn't pick me in the stands at Pocono.
We would never get a caution.
That's the thing. We never get a caution. You're not passing out.
Yeah, you wouldn't get the caution. We need the guy to pass out.
Matt will fall asleep.
No, listen, boys. I don't even know what you guys are talking about because I just I was just informed that we can't be a NASCAR podcast and not say happy birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Dale.
Yeah.
We're 74 years old today if he didn't die. How crazy is that?
It's also Willie Nelson's birthday, so there's that.
I thought Willie's birthday was yesterday, wasn't it?
Oh, probably. I'm always a day late, dollar short.
Oh, no, you're right. It is Willie Nelson's birthday today.
I was right. Yeah,
I heard it on the radio, but I thought it was yesterday. Today was a long day, boys. It was a long day.
All you 420 people, smoke one for him.
How crazy is this? I almost put a Willie Nelson shirt on for this podcast tonight. Yeah. This one was just right on the top. I went looking. I didn't see it in the first couple. I said, fuck it.
I mean, Willie's from Texas
born
too.
The same day, dude. Not a coincidence. God knows what he's doing.
Whatchamacallit? In fact, you want to know what? Willie Nelson had a Wrangler connection too. I think Dale Earnhardt and Willie Nelson were in a TV commercial back in the 80s. Because Willie Nelson got sued, and then he had some album to pay the lawsuit, and there was a tie-in with Wrangler jeans
Nice.
They definitely cross paths. There's no doubt in my mind that those two definitely cross paths.
They did.
If I remember correctly, I think Dale Jr. told a story on the podcast where maybe it was. Now I could be mixing it up when he had who's the country star, big fat guy, Luke Combs on the podcast, because he told a story about Willie Nelson, but I think he mentioned that his dad hung out with Willie Nelson during that time.
Right.
But Dale Sr. didn't say if he partook with Willie or not. So
yeah. Oh, he smoked the green, dude. We know he did. Come on now.
I can see Senior smacking it out of his hand, like, don't fucking bring that shit around me.
I don't want any of that hippie bullshit.
I'm with Shrey.
I think
he'd be surprised.
Yeah, he was into everything. Flying helicopters over his son's parties and shit. Like, come on.
I think Dale was definitely one of those guys that had the mentality of, I'm going to try everything once.
Yeah. Just to see. And if you're going to do it, you might as well do it with Willie, right? Let's see. Austin Cindric, he led 5 times for 7 laps to win the what was it, the Yellowwood 500? I don't know. Down Talladega, 3 hours, 10 minutes, 52 seconds, 4 cautions for 22 laps, 67 lead changes among 23 different drivers. Austin Cindric, Kyle Larson, William Byron, Noah Gragson in 4th, and Chase Elliott rounding out the top 5. Boys, I gave it like a C+. What about you guys?
I think it was the Jack Links was the sponsor.
Oh, it was the Jack Links 500. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
They had the Sam Squanches there all running around in their suits and shit. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The Yeti was there, too.
It was on John Hunter's car. Yeah.
Yeah, they gave the call out for start your engines.
You know, I forgot that the Yeti was there. I was listening to that portion on MRN.
Because you were late. You were grocery shopping.
No, I wasn't grocery shopping. I was doing yard work. I was getting the yard cleaned up and stuff. So and you want to know, honestly, this was one of those races where I was like, should I just listen to the whole thing on the radio? Because I know it's not going to be worth really watching. I think I would have. Yeah.
Dirt let me do it on the radio, and he said it was great.
That's because I listened to the first stage. I thought the first stage was awesome. A lot of shuffling around and everything. And then I turned it on near the end of the stage. And I'm like, yeah, this is a pretty good race. And then second stage, kind of a dud. Third stage was okay, I guess, with the different fuel mileage strategies, but it was all for naught anyways. It didn't make a difference. And I was just glad it went green at the end there, and that's why I gave it the extra plus as a C+. But what do you guys think?
I'm right there with you, Whitey. C plus range, anywhere within there is fine with me.
Yeah.
Super speedway, you're gonna have your moments. You're gonna have the times where it's okay, shit's popping off right here, and then 2 laps later, like, oh, okay, now it's not. To me, I hate to do it, but it's just a car. This car does not allow for good racing, and it's a shame, I guess. Like, you used to be able to, like, oh, whatever, Talladega, you're going to get an exciting race out of Talladega because it's Talladega, because it's Daytona.
Just edge of your seat because something could happen at any moment.
It just wasn't there. I'm under the impression that, now this is going to sound dumb too, because I guess once you strap the helmet on, I guess it is what it is, but I really do think more than half of the field does not want to be there and does not want to race in those types of races. Yeah. I think they've seen their buddies crash. I think they've heard the horror stories. They've been in the horror stories. Christopher Bell shits on it any chance he could fucking get.
Yeah.
Like, I really do think Kyle Busch shits on it. Like, there's guys that have been around this shit on it, and there's guys that are newer that still shit on it. And the only reason we keep going back there is for the entertainment value and for the excitement. And guess what? We're not even getting that now.
No.
So what is the point of going there and risking the injury to these drivers, tearing up all these race cars? To me, I don't know if the drivers are really full board into it. Now, there's circumstances surrounding that, which I'm pretty sure we'll get to, like the strategy, the teams telling you what to do in the car.
Orders.
That all has to go. It all has to go.
You know what, the hardest part to watch, because it looks really impressive, but it's a sign of bad racing, is when they're 4 wide. because that just
goes, they're going slow. They're 60% throttle.
And it just goes to show you, like, there's no handling needed. Like, you couldn't go 4 wide for multiple laps if you needed your car to handle well. Like, they're just glued to the track. And I don't know. It's just, you can't make moves. We've been talking about it for years now at this point. It's just depressing that NASCAR doesn't see anything wrong with it. And,
Nope.
Because they go, oh, well, there was, 67 lead changes. It's like, yeah, but there was 188 laps, and they only counted.
And when you're 4 wide going this, like this, like this, like this, like this, like this, of course you're going to have that happen.
It almost seems, I think I liked the first stage listening to the radio because, like, guys are shuffling around and everything, but it kind of seems like people are trying to shuffle themselves away from the front so they don't burn up enough gas.
No, the only time they're going to shuffle is when they need to get to a green flag pit stop.
Yeah.
So 10 laps before they know the green flag, and their hands out the window. Hey, I need to get down. I need to get down. You have to go. We're pitting now. And that's why they start moving around. Not because they're trying to get up or go back. They're trying to organize themselves for a pit stop.
Yeah.
That was really like some of the only times that they started really shuffling around. Other than that, it's when you see Denny. Oh, I'm going to the back. It's getting too squirrely up here. You'll see someone fall. But, like, as far as the back and forth actual trying to go up and pass, there's only a few guys that have that mentality to go up there and do that.
But they're not doing it either.
Times you can't if you don't have a dancing partner.
If
you don't have dancing partners, you can't do it.
Well, this year was a little better as far as, like, manufacturer go. It wasn't like last year and the years past. Like, I will say that this race was very much like you had Ford and Chevy or Ford and Toyota or whatever, and it was more mixed, but the thing that made it shit to me was you had the Fords in the beginning just riding out there and clogging up the 2 lines that were formed, right? They're running 60%. So then Toyota came in this race, I thought, with the best head on their shoulders. Hey, we're going to come here. We don't care about your stupid fuel mileage race. We're going to come here and just rock out, pedal to the metal. And I like that. But then the Fords like stunk up the show. I felt like oh, hey, no, we run this. We run super motor speed. Like, we're all about it. They're the best at it. They showed it again. But I like the mindset of the Toyota camp coming in there and saying, hey, fuck this, like a little different. But I'm with you guys. I gave it a B- ultimately because here's me. I'm not really harsh on this and like what NASCAR brought this week. And it's only because of what they gave me and had me like digest and eat for the last 4 years. They've given us this. And now it ultimately came into this like big ultimate feast that you have to like put down. It's not a surprise. It's not like last year, the year before. This next gen car has produced dog shit as far as supermotor speedways go. And the first and second stage, I didn't mind. It was the third stage that to touch on what Dovin said, like drivers getting complacent. The third stage was this. Okay, whatever line I'm in, and I could be 6th in the left or the bottom line, I'm going to stay there. I'm not jumping out. I'm not going to go up to the other line. I'm not going to go down and form a new one. No. I'm going to stay where I am. But both lines, if you were in the middle, like third driver, 4th, 5th, it didn't matter. You weren't moving because you were just hoping that you're in a faster line and that you finished the race and you got a top 10 finish. That's it. It's very like that third stage was so locked. Like, oh my, it missed. It was horrible. It was. Then you have like again, this race, the only thing that saved this for me was pit road again. Yeah. If you don't have that, Brad putting his hand out the window, wanting to go down. I don't know really what he was doing, but I felt bad, for Kyle Busch in that situation.
The guys in front of him checked up way too much.
Yeah.
Well, I agree. Carson Hocevar, he plays these fucking games, dude. Josh Berry is behind him in the pits. He's so far out of his pit box, and Josh Berry's about to run your fucking crew over, and that just shitty. I hate Carson Hocevar. Can't stand him, and I don't know. It's like pit road has been like the whole talk this year. Why racing is fun? Pit road.
You
are awesome. Then you got Kyle Busch, who is the best at getting off of pit road, but he has the most penalties because he's pushing it because his pit crew sucks for him, and then he gets one. Josh Berry gets one. I'm like, what? Josh Berry's in 28th. I'm like, this guy was having a good day. He led first. Kyle Busch followed him, and they both get penalized. But it's like the only thing that is making the racing fun. Everybody's the same. Everybody goes out there with the same car, the same setup. Everybody knows what everybody's doing, what strategy. The only thing different is pit. Whether you how you get it on and off pit road.
Really, Shredder is what you're like. It comes down to mistakes.
Yeah,
mistakes has been the key. Yep. It's who has mistakes, and mistakes are happening on pit road.
Yep, and that's otherwise it's the same.
But that's really the only spot now that you say that where you can make the mistakes nowadays. Yep. Like the setup, so you can't really make a mistake on a setup anymore because there's only so much you could go with that.
I really think that sharing of the data, that the SMT, I think that is really hurting more than it's doing good.
Oh yeah.
I shouldn't be able to know what Dove is running with his team, and he shouldn't know what I'm running. Like, I think you take that out, it helps out. And this is why, touch on like Tyler or Richard what's his name getting fired from
Rodney Childers.
Childers, right?
I forgot to put that in the news. He's not in he got fired from the 7 team. Left
here's my take on that. I love Rodney, with the 4-car, but he is like the last of the.
He's an old school crew chief. He is,
and where you learn a car, you learn like the what like an advantage, and you push the limits. Like Harvick. With the whole window thing, having 3 bolts out, but he you needed that. Now it's like. You can't really push it. Everything's shared. He's not a guy to tell even though you're part of this team, I'm not telling you shit. Like this is
my secret that I came up with. Yeah.
And so I don't think he's really meant for it. I think I heard today he might go down he should go down to Xfinity. I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
Go down in Xfinity and just that's the last car you killed it on. Go down there, kill it with a team, and run out. But I don't know. This sharing shit is annoying. Annoying that NASCAR. I feel like we talked about it today. I'll just bring it up a little bit. I feel like NASCAR loves to. They're the big boss. You go up to your boss and you come up. Hey, I think if we do this and this, I think it can improve the business and make things work a little better. And the boss looks at your son. We ain't gonna spend that kind of money, but I like where your head's at. But what are you going to do for me and this company? What can you do to improve it?
Okay, so let's get into that because, first, Matt, give your grade real quick, and then I want to get into the All-Star discussion because I didn't chime in while you guys were talking about it because I wanted to save it for the podcast.
I didn't chime in while you guys were talking about it because I've got nothing to say about super speedway racing. I gave it a C-.
All right.
Move on.
Because Matt is our super speedway guy.
Yeah.
I remember he talked me off a ledge because I was so anti super speedway racing, and I'm like, it's just not my thing here and there. And he was the number 1 advocate.
He's like,
for
Talladega's
super
the best.
speedway racing. And look at what you fucking did to Matt, NASCAR. You fucking shut him right down. You took all the fucking happiness right out of him.
I gave it a C-. It was a fucking terrible race. It was terrible. You guys are talking about shuffling. The only thing that was shuffling was my feet across the living room floor going to get chores done during the race because I couldn't fucking stand watching what I was watching.
I'm not going to lie. I snoozed on that race on my couch, dude. I'd wake up, nothing changed.
I fell asleep during one commercial break, too.
What NASCAR, this is the thing. If NASCAR doesn't look at what Rodney did by leaving and why he left, that is a sign that your sport is dying. That's a sign when you're number 1 top 5 crew chief
of all time, like a Hall of Fame crew chief.
Yeah, you know what? I can't do what I do to this. I'm out.
Yeah,
that's a problem. But I don't think NASCAR looks at it like that or even sees it as a problem.
And it
actually is a problem. When that type of person is leaving on his own, He didn't get fired from there. He basically said, "I'm done. I don't want to do this thing."
I wondered though if it was just the team. I don't know how that place operates,
I don't know if it was the
there
team
was
or
like
them.
a bad chemistry out the gate. He was on an interview with Harvick, because I listened to Harvick, and it was weird. It was like him going on there and like, we have a meeting. And I like, I'm not going to share nothing. Like, he's flat out like saying like that. I think it was like a him and them kind of situation.
He's like, I'm not going to tell you my secrets, and they're like, well, you're not a team player. But not only are crew chiefs leaving, the fans are leaving. The ratings are down 6% since last year for this race. That's a clear sign. That's a clear sign that you have an issue when it comes to these races. It was on normal Fox and it was down 6% with, I guess, the NFL draft to go against. But like, what was it, day 3 of the draft? No one cares. Exactly. So, whatchamacallit? I want to bring up, I didn't cover in the news. Apparently the teams were given the option to run what you brung for the All-Star race. Come up with something. See if you could come up with a fix for the car. And the teams declined because it was going to cost too much money. And on the surface, I think I was where like maybe Matt is, where it's like, why not fucking try something? Why not try something? And then
I was there.
And then Ricky brought up that point where it's like, yeah, well, I'm the boss, man. Why don't you fix it for me? Because it's too much for me to put into.
Yeah.
All the money that NASCAR has, all the money that they're pulling in from sponsorships, track fees, all that shit, like
it is so frustrating as a fan. And I'm gonna get really serious. It is so frustrating as a fan and sitting back the last couple of years because
hold on.
NASCAR.
You gotta take that hat off if you're gonna be serious.
NASCAR does a great job of like passing the buck. That's what I call it. And they have a problem. And they don't want to admit fault. And this car,
like, well, the teams don't want to spend the money.
First, it was a safety issue. Now they had no choice but the in-house take care of it, and they fixed a couple of safety issues. Now there is from day one, there is still a clear, like, small or short track issue. There is a Supermotor Speedway issue. There is a full issue with this car.
A road course issue.
And you're not listening. Not only are you not listening to your drivers, which you never do, but you're not listening to your fans. And I see them, you're making Goodyear really work really hard and coming up with new compounds for different tires and a softer, heavy, this, that, medium. It's insane. And there's so much testing with NASCAR or Goodyear. I'm sick of hearing like Goodyear is a problem. I'm the opposite of Tony Stewart today. Goodyear, you're doing everything for the sport. If I'm Goodyear, I'm telling you, fuck you, NASCAR.
Because what are they getting out of it?
And then now you got Goodyear probably pissed off, right? They're doing everything they can. Now you're coming out and you're saying, hey, we're going to give you teams an opportunity to do something and bring what you run there. That would be fine. But what's the incentive when you're putting millions of dollars into this car and then you can never run it again?
Yeah.
So you can never run it at any other race because you cut your wing down. That's what they're all saying. They all want that wing. It's like this high. They want it shortened. Oh, they want ride height changed. They want
more horsepower.
Dude, horsepower, up it. It's so frustrating to sit back and just hear it. And the average fan, these teams, why won't they do that? That's why they're getting sued in the first place, because they don't feel like they're getting the right compensation and at the end of this season.
Yeah.
You're running a 3-car team, and it's an awful lot. You got to bring 2 cars to a race now, right? 300,000, right? Imagine. Dude, do the math on that. You're only getting $1 million for a win. Whoop these shit. It's been the same way. Listening to Denny Hamlin really opened my eyes to all of it, because I'm sitting back and I'm like, you know what? This is like my fucking boss. I hope he's not listening. But it's like, it really is. It's just because it's just past the buck. We did all we could. Well, what the fuck did you do?
I think that's the point.
Not a shot, not a chance in hell Ted Harris listens to the podcast.
Thank God.
Whatchamacallit, Matt, you looked like you had something to say. I don't want to cut you off.
I was just going to say, to your point, Whitey, I was very much kind of on the opposite side of what kind of Shrey is talking about entering today, where, that Jeff Gluck rant came out, and
I was on Gluck's side on that one. Yeah.
He made really good points, but then Shrey, because one of the good things that we can do, I think the four of us, one of the best traits that we have as a group and as a podcast is that we're all willing to hear each other out and hear each other's side of things, and then be willing to be swayed to the other side if there's a good point to be made, right? Like, I think we're all really, really good at that. I was on the opposite end of what Shrey's saying until Shrey made his points. And as, again, you're talking, Shrey, something else popped into my mind too. Let's just say the teams are on board and they're like, all right, let's fucking do this. Let's go. Let's hammer out some things. Let's apply some different techniques and ingenuity that we've been thinking about over the past couple of years. Let's go see. And let's just say they fucking nail something, right?
Yeah.
Do you really think that NASCAR is going to give it the green light? Because I have no evidence. I have no evidence of anything that NASCAR has done over the last 4 or 5 years that will lead me to believe that they're going to get a good piece of information to help this sport and do something positive with it.
Not only that, because does that team want to share what they found?
That's the other thing.
Like, what if a team found something really cool and they're like, we're not going to tell anybody about this?
NASCAR's like, well, no, you got to tell us because we got to disperse it to the rest of the cars. Then we're back at square one anyway.
Yeah, and then every car has it,
Right, exactly, because you got to share everything. So when you do all your research or that's why, like, Rodney, like say you had a Rodney in your garage, and that's why you wouldn't even want to introduce it there, because now your secret's out, and for what? You're not getting an incentive. What? You might not even win that race. I don't know. There's no incentive. It's just frustrating. And what I want is, like, open up Charlotte, open up Phoenix to run testing, and have NASCAR do actual bring actual product there with change and do a test. Oh, we did wing height this week, and this is what we got. We did ride height this week. This is what we got. Do some R&D, but they're not doing that. They're not spending no money. They're not doing nothing on it, and they're passing this shit-ass product and saying, hey, we understand. We're with you, and we're hearing you. Go fix it. Fuck off. And you know who's going to be the best at these changes are the teams that can afford it. Penske, Hendrick.
Yeah.
The rest of them are going to suffer.
Gibbs.
They're not going to, all of them, they're not going to be on that dynamic because they just don't have the funds. Like, what is the point of bringing 6 cars, unloading them, and you could never run them again?
Now, it's on the other side of it, though, because, again, I agree with you that this is a NASCAR problem that NASCAR should spend the money to fix, because this is NASCAR's product. The teams are just racing in a series trying to win, Now, at the same time, how many times have we heard team owners like Denny Hamlin go, or drivers go, all we need to do is take a tapered spacer off, open up these engines? They could have at least done that, And NASCAR could have at least said,
they don't want to, though. These teams with this the lawsuit is getting in the way of all of this.
Yeah.
NASCAR was gonna, it's like, oh, let's throw this idea out there. The way I'm looking at this whole thing is like, okay, NASCAR is getting sued. They're in this lawsuit. The teams, I would imagine all of them hate NASCAR right now, and are with Denny and are siding with him. So my thing is, NASCAR's like, oh, what is something that all the teams have been wanting and bitching at us about? Let's give it to them.
Yeah, let's let them do it.
Let's let them do it then.
It makes them look bad to the fans. It gets the fans to do a flip.
Wow.
And then all of a sudden NASCAR. But I think the teams got together. It was like, hey, come here. I think we're getting tricked. I think this is a trick from NASCAR for you guys to solve our own problem. And the teams were like, wait a minute. As much as we would love to change this,
giving me sweet
you
whispers.
could get fucked. You could absolutely get fucked with what the team.
You know what needs to happen? That's fucking hilarious. You know what needs to happen, like, in all seriousness, is like some sort of great reset.
Yeah.
Like where NASCAR and the drivers and the team owners all sit down behind closed doors and say, what do we need to do to come together?
Matt, that's what they were supposed to do with this car. They rushed it. Denny had said it. When they asked, is this car ready? They said yes. They knew they weren't fucking ready for it. They were still 2 to 4 years away from that car being where it needed to be.
As a joke, and a big fuck you back to NASCAR, if I'm Denny Hamlin, dude, I'm coming out, right? And I'm telling Bubba, you're not racing, or whoever, right? You're not racing this week. And throw a grenade in that blow it the fuck up right there, right when you unload it.
Yeah.
There's our change. This car is a grenade.
Yeah.
It's a piece of shit.
I don't know, but see that you got to look at it from a sports perspective. Like that's saying like you're asking Dak Prescott, to go out there and just like throw every ball to the other team because he doesn't like what Jerry Jones, the owner's doing.
Throw him off sides. Yeah.
It would just be funny.
What needs to happen is a wholesale holdout, lockout, walkout, whatever you want to call it, where drivers and or teams just aren't showing up.
Yeah.
Like they just need to. That's if you want real change. The NASCAR, where like it's like, hey, we're tuning into Fox at 3:00 and we don't have a race to show you because the teams and drivers didn't show up, and this is the 4th week that's happened. Now people aren't tuning in. Now NASCAR's losing a lot of money over it.
Well, it's one charter.
That's why they made them sign those charter deals
to get into, right? And now you're asking. So not only does it cost around $45 million, right, for one charter and Cup, right? Now you're asking that same owner to now do his own R&D and bring it to. That's a little ignorant. Like that's. I'm not with it. I finally put the shoe on of the owner today. And I was like, fuck that too. If I literally think about it, you own the thing. Would you want that? No. You can never
start trying to pull the wool over their eyes to get them to do their dirty work for them. And the team caught on and said, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Boys, we got a doozy brewing outside.
Oh, big storm coming?
Kimmy gave me a note. She goes, might lose power in 10-15 minutes. Big one.
All right. Well, we got.
And she's not talking about me.
Producer. Shrey's got a producer.
Great producing, Kimmy. Great producing. Oh, and you want to what? Got to give props to Kimmy. She's pissed off at Logano. She was rooting for Austin Cindric, so I'm gonna give that one a.
Dude, I think it's awesome too because I gotta touch on this. Kimmy gets her first diecast. I couldn't be more pissed about it, right? Really, to have this in my bar. I have to look at that shit car all the time. I gave her a hammer the other day. I put the car down on the count. I go, Kimmy, smash this fucking diecast. Right? And I would have it in the bar room, like all destroyed.
Yeah.
That would be fun. It'd be a story to tell. She couldn't do it. But as these races and he does this shit, like that was pre-Talladega when I did that.
Yeah.
So then he acts like a complete douchebag on the
screaming about his teammate not wrecking him.
I don't care what they say behind closed doors. Like you ain't recovering from that as teammates.
No, never.
In team meetings today,
Austin Cindric's gonna hear that, and he might be like, yeah, whatever, we'll put it behind us. But like,
he'll never help him. He'll never help him.
Like that. Like that relationship's done.
Just me. If I'm Austin Cindric, I'm gripping Logano up and putting him up against the fucking wall. Type of shit, being like, buddy, I don't give a shit what you say to your team behind in your fucking hauler, but over the radio where Radioactive gets all this shit and it comes back and I hear it, I'm giving him a couple one of these, little to the bottom of the chin, make him bite his fucking tongue.
I don't know if you've ever seen how tall Austin Cindric is, too. He can fucking rip him up.
My mom would always say this. She goes, Robbie, he who last best. And Austin Cindric got the last laugh on that. You finish the race, you win, and then Logano gets DQ'd. Dude, first Logano was
karma's coming back for him. That's just what it is.
Yep. It was awesome. And you saw Karma work quick. Karma usually doesn't work that quick, but she came around and smacked him. I loved it.
Speaking of working quick, though, since we got a storm rolling in, we might as well run through the rest of it. Again, not much to talk about racing-wise, besides, the drama between teammates, which was highly entertaining, and a great win for Austin Cindric. Other than that, I did the math. There was only 2 drivers that scored stage points in both stages and led laps. It was Bubba Wallace and Kyle Larson. They were the 2 most consistent drivers in the field, both finishing in the top 10. And then everybody else who gained stage points in the first stage either didn't gain stage points in the second stage or didn't lead laps. It was a boring one. Anyways, we are heading to Texas. Dovin's got the Longhorns t-shirt on, and apparently I looked at my grade from last year. I also gave it a C+, Matt, but apparently online loved it for some reason. I can't remember. So maybe Eric, you were in that same camp.
That's because
it was. I looked at my notebook. I was thinking of it was 2 races.
The year
That's
before.
because Elliott won last year. That's why I got
Byron.
a good grade.
Yeah.
It was the race that William Byron won.
But we are heading to Texas. Trucks on Track, 8 p.m. on Friday night on FS1 for the SpeedyCash.com 250. Xfinity on Track, 2 o'clock on the CW on Saturday for the Andes Frozen Custard 300. And then Cup on Track, 3:30 on FS1 for the Worth 400. And I think we only have, 2 or 3 more races or 4 races left on Fox, or 3 after the All-Star race. To go over our picks from last week, I picked Brad Keselowski. He was involved in that first caution there and wrecked out. He got me 1 point, so I pick first. Eric, you pick Eric Jones. He got you 19 points. Matt, you picked Bubba Wallace. He got you 45 points. And Ricky, you picked Austin Cindric, the winner, getting you 48 points. So I go first. I am going to pick. I have to do it because his stats are really good at Texas. He already has 2 wins. I think Denny Hamlin gets his 3rd win at Texas this weekend. Matt, who you think? Eric, who are you thinking for Texas?
We've all been wanting this for over a year now, and I don't know. He has a little fire. He has a little passion, and I think with this racetrack, he tends to. I'm pretty sure this is where he would have a lot of sweeps. Truck, Xfinity, and Cup.
I'm
going with Kyle Busch to get his first victory in over a year.
Love it.
That was one of the best Texas races that I remember. That was that rained out race in 2020. It took us to Thursday to get it in, and they fucking. You remember the pit crew?
Do you remember that they held us hostage for 4 days?
4 days, and then the pit crew lowered KB's car extra slow to get that extra little bit of gas in. Man, what a fucking race that was! How about you, Matt? Who are you going with for Texas?
So I am going with a guy who's got a win at this track. In the next gen car here, out of the 3 races, he's got 3 top 10s. He's got 2 top 5s. He's got the most points. Average finishing position is a 3.7. I'm taking Slick Willie 2 Clocks.
Good pick.
Not so fast, my friends.
This is his teammate.
I'm taking Slick Willie. I'm taking Slick Willie 2 Guns.
Oh yeah, I forgot to give away the pistols. And Shrey, who are you picking for the race weekend here?
So before I get there, I just want to give a good shout out real quick to Cletus for coming in top 10, 10th on the ARCA.
Cletus McFarland
with a cylinder down, and NASCAR needs to put him in other series, because if you're going to put Kathleen Legge out there and do what she does, you can put Cletus in there and get twice the viewership.
Yeah.
And that guy is amazing. Whether he's in the car or giving an interview, he brings the show. Okay, on to my pick.
Hold on. While we're there, Kathleen Legge, she didn't do anything wrong on Saturday. She got wrecked by Eric Almirola. That hole was not big enough for him to fit in.
Yeah, well, he's another one.
He's another one.
Finish her race is what I want from her. But clearly we need the the bald eagles to run all the time or a little bit more in upper series.
Yeah.
But about my pick, I can't believe I escaped. I came here. I don't even have a pick written down. I'm doing this all freelance. I forgot to make a pick. So I can't believe I'm sitting here, and especially with you, Whitey, can't believe you didn't take a homer. I'm going Tyler Reddick. I'm going Tyler Reddick. I'm going to win. Again, I'm doing 2 in a row. I'm calling my shot. Call me Babe Ruth, baby. I'm going to eat them next week when I win this.
There's a couple guys with really good average finishes at Texas.
Bowman. I was going to go Bowman.
Bowman, Larson.
Bowman is good.
Bowman, Larson, Reddick, and Larson's really good. Reddick, Byron, and Hamlin. They're all kind of near each other, and half those guys already had wins. But something tells me Denny's going to have it. We'll see.
I like your pick too.
All I know is from the end of last season, I've been picking Kyle Busch in hopes. I'm trying to will him to a fucking win. I'm trying to will that motherfucker to win.
Me too.
I don't know. I'm gonna go back and look to see how many times I picked Kyle Busch at the end of the year.
Kyle Busch. I'll mark my words. Kyle Busch wins in the next gen car. I'm buying that diecast whenever it happens. I'm buying that diecast.
He won in the next gen car. He won it at Auto Club in a Lucas Oil paint scheme.
But I want this one.
Let's see. We killed too much time in between. We're 10 races into the 2025 season with 6 different winners. William Byron, Christopher Bell, Josh Berry, Kyle Larson, Denny Hamlin, and Austin Cindric. Who will get their next win? Will it be one of our picks? Will it be?
No.
Will it be? Will it be Tyler Reddick? Will it be Slick Willie Two Pistols? Will it be Kyle Busch? Or will it be James Dennis Hamlin? We'll find out this Sunday, 3:30 on FS1. We'll break it all down for you right here on the Bumper Run Podcast. For Matt the Stat Man Reilly, for Eric Daytona Ron, and Robbie Shredder Shrey, I'm Michael D. White saying have a good night.
The Bumper Run. There it is.